Well, hi Maria. Thank you for meeting with me today. I appreciate that you're here and I appreciate your time. So I just want to talk to you, get to know you a little bit, find out what's going on so we can help you out. Um, is it okay with you if I jot down some notes while we're speaking today?
Sure.
Okay. I just like to do that because what you're saying is important to me. So I don't want to forget anything. So another thing I wanted to discuss with you is that all of the information we speak about today will remain confidential unless that I feel somebody's safety is in risk or if you're at risk of any harm. So everything will be confidential, and if any information needs to be shared, the process is to have your informed consent. Do you have any questions about that?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
I'm a little nervous, but
Okay.
no.
May I ask why you're nervous?
Well, because I've never had to talk to a social worker before, so I don't know exactly what I'm being accused of. So I'm just a little nervous.
Right, sure. That is totally understandable. That's a very normal feeling for a lot of people. I know that this can be an uncommon space for some people as well. So I just want to let you know that I am a student at Wingate University getting my master's degree in social work so that I can become a licensed clinical social worker. So my job here is to help you and to help find out what your needs are as well. So,
Okay.
does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. So what brings you here?
Well, I've been feeling a little isolated and having some symptoms of depression. I'm a mom. I have two children. Sophia's 10, Diego is 7. Juan is my spouse. But I've become the caregiver of my mom, who is 76, who has her own set of health challenges. So she has arthritis and she has early onset dementia.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to take care of her, but still manage my household and take care of my family. And it's I'm kind of burning the candles at both ends, so it's kind of taking a toll on me.
Right, right. That is very understandable. Wow, that sounds very hard. It sounds like you're managing a lot. Your wife, a mom, you're also taking care of your mom, and it can be a little bit weird switching roles with your parents and having to take care of them.
Yeah.
How has your mother's diagnosis affected your relationship with her?
Our relationship has always been pretty good, but it's one of those things where I have two siblings, but they don't live close. So it's either I'm going to take care of her or she's going to have to go to a facility. And she really doesn't want to do that. And I don't want to do that to her unless that's our last option.
Right.
So, I mean, but she appreciates that I'm taking care of her, but with her dementia, she's starting to forget things. Sometimes she's kind of mean, and then with her arthritis, sometimes she just can't do for herself. So it's a lot of moving parts. So, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful that I get to be the caretaker for my mom
Mm-hmm.
because she took care of me.
Right, right. Do you have any family values or cultural backgrounds around elders or taking care of parents? Is that common in your family?
Well, it's something that we're supposed to do.
Right.
It's like we take care of our own. Like the only time I've ever seen where we had to one of our family members had to go into a facilities was it was because the family could no longer take care of them. But up until then, it's like we kind of pulled people together. But like with that situation, it was my aunt and my cousins. They lived close together, so it wasn't all on one person. They were able to rotate and help each other out. But with my siblings being in other states, it's a little more complicated. It's a little more complicated because they have their families as well, so they just can't pick up and just come and do it. And I understand that, but it's like, what about me?
Right, right. Yeah, that sounds incredibly challenging. I can understand why you're feeling isolated. So, just to clarify, have you had conversations with your siblings about maybe them visiting for even a very short period of time to provide you some relief? Is that out of the question?
Well, financially, yes, because they can't really afford to take off of work and come up because they're both married, but it's like they're maintaining their household on both of those paychecks. So they don't really have any vacation leave or anything that they can use. They were going to talk to their managers to see like if there's some kind of what is it when they let you take off to care for your family? It's some kind of family medical. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
So they're gonna check into that, but if they do, it will only be for a short period of time because they can't go without having a paycheck.
Right.
So
that's understandable. Well, you know, I can imagine that's very frustrating not having their support during this time. Are you close with them? Are they people that you can vent to about the situation?
I can vent to them, but to them it just sounds like I'm complaining because on the outside looking in, mom doesn't look like it's that bad, like it's not taking that much. But when you add into it the children, helping them with school, helping with homework, still working, trying to keep my marriage alive, it's a lot. But all they see is me just complaining, so they don't even understand. They're like, it can't be that bad. She can still walk, she can still talk. Most of the time, she is coherent. But what they don't realize is when they talk to her, she's coherent. The other 70% of the time, she is not. But I don't want to burden them with it to make them feel worse about not being able to come. So.
Right, right. So, what I'm hearing is that this is really taking a toll on your mental health, and due to your family background, you feel obligated to take care of your mother, but grateful to be able to do that. And at the same time, you're kind of feeling unseen. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Kind
sounds
of
hard.
unseen, and it's just like it's really hard to explain it unless you've been through it. So like trying to I think the other thing is I'm trying to learn how to process the emotions I'm feeling that goes with this, and I'm not sure how to because some days mom is mom and she's up and we're laughing and talking and she's her own self. But on those days when she's not, I just want to scream and cry because it's hard and she doesn't understand and she's starting to, like I said, she's getting mean. Like she's not mean to the children though. She doesn't act out with them. She still remembers them, so it's good that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that things can still seem kind of normal from your children's perspective, but that must make it really hard for you as a mother because, you can't tell them what's going on and you can't tell them why you're stressed out. What do you do to manage your stress?
When I get a few minutes, I'll go for a walk. Um, like to read, but I can't focus enough to read. So the walks are winning right now. If I'm just gonna be honest with you, some days I just really want to have a glass of wine to calm my nerves because it's just so hard. But I don't know if that's wise. So I've been staying away from that. I go to church and I have my church group that I can kind of lean on. They don't know everything that's going on because I don't really want everybody in my business because some people don't understand all nationalities.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand, as a Hispanic, we stick together and family sticks together. But some nationalities, it's like they don't understand that. It's like, why won't you let someone else come in and help you? And it's like, that's not how we were raised.
Right.
So we have different cultural values. So trying to get people to understand that sometimes it's more stress than dealing with it on my own.
Yeah, that sounds frustrating because it sounds like what you're trying to do is let people know what's going on and they're viewing it through their own cultural lens instead of really considering yours, and that must be very frustrating.
It is. It's really, I don't know. Sometimes I feel sad. Sometimes I feel hopeless. My self-esteem is going down the toilet. I used to. One of the things my grandma taught me growing up is like once you get married, if when your husband leaves, you're in the bed and you're in your bed clothes. When he comes home, don't look the same way.
Mm.
And I always took pride in that to be nice and have my face made up and have on something nice, looking nice for him. But now it's like I'm gaining weight, so my clothes don't fit. So I'm feeling my confidence is low, my self-esteem is low, and it's just like I feel like I'm spiraling out of control, and I just don't know what to do.
That's very understandable. I want to let you know that what you're feeling is very common for people who are caregiving for their parents, especially with dementia situations. So I don't want you to feel like there's anything wrong with you for feeling that way. That does lead me into my next question, since you mentioned your husband and feeling like you have certain expectations as a wife. Do you how do you think he is perceiving this situation? Is he being supportive?
He is being supportive, and it's hard. He says it's hard for him to watch, because he remembers mom when she was her vibrant self, playing with the kids, helping out, us laughing and just having a good time, to where she is now. So it's like it's hard for him to watch, but his like when he goes to work, that's his time to decompress.
Right.
So when he comes in, it's like okay, he helps out, but with mom, she's kind of private, so certain things she's not gonna let him help with. It's like no, no, no. So despite the fact he wants to help, he's limited to the help he can provide.
I see. And that must be frustrating for you as his wife, I'm sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It is because he's trying to provide for the family and trying to make sure I'm okay. But what I've learned is men are fixers. He's trying to figure out a way to fix it, but it's not really a way to fix it.
Right.
We just have to. This is the season we're in right now, so this is kind of what we got to do.
Right. Yeah. Have you considered if there are any ways that your husband can help support you differently?
What do you mean?
Um, do you think it would be better if he just listened versus trying to fix things? Would that help you more?
Well, it might, but you know, he wants to do both.
Right, right.
He wants to do both, but ideally is I'm just grateful that at the end of the night he's there to listen. Even though he doesn't understand, he still listens. So
Well, what I'm hearing is that this situation is putting a strain on your marriage a bit, but at the same time, it sounds like you and your husband still love each other very much, and he's doing what he can to support you from his perspective, and I think that shows a strong quality about your marriage and your connection with each other. So, this may feel really difficult right now, but that is something that I'm happy to hear you have going for you.
thank you.
Of course.
I guess I never looked at it that way.
Yeah. I'm glad you're not completely alone in this, even though you said your siblings are far away. What about your kids? How is your relationship with your kids being affected?
Well, with the kids in the home, we're still being able to do our normal things, but because grandma can't go as much, we're not able to go and do. So, like, if they want to go out to the park and she's having a good day, we can go. But if she's not, we can't go. And it's hard to tell them no because, at 10 and 7, it's like I've gotten out of school, I've done my homework, I just want to go play. And it breaks my heart that I can't take them to play because they're not old enough to just send out on their own. So it's just like everybody is catching a portion of it. But I try and, like I said, mom is still okay with the kids, so she still recognizes them. She isn't being mean to them, so they just see that sometimes she's in the bed a little bit more than normal, so they're not noticing anything different. Well, they haven't asked like, what's wrong with me, mom? They haven't asked, so it's just kind of trying to protect her and protect them because they have a great relationship, and grandparents are amazing, and I just want them to always remember the great relationship they have with her, not the bad stuff.
Right. Well, it sounds like your kids are really lucky to have a mother who is, considering those things and considering the challenges and barriers that you have right now. It sounds like you're doing the best you can with the situation presented to you. So that sounds very difficult. Have you ever considered joining a support group with other children who are acting as caregivers as well?
I thought about it. Because one of the senior centers just kind of they offer that, and but because of our culture, I don't know if that'll be a good thing. I said I'm gonna get on and try it at least once because maybe hearing different things that other people are doing, it'll give me some guidance, or it may even be because right now I feel like it's just me. Like I'm the only one dealing with an aging parent that's going through this with the arthritis and the dementia. So maybe getting on may help me realize, okay, Maria, it's not just you, it's other people and there are people out here to help with that. But I just don't want my family to just look at me bad because I'm trying to get help. But I think if I don't do something soon, I don't know what it's gonna look like though.
Right. I understand. I want to let you know, Maria, that if you are concerned about how your family will perceive you reaching out for help, your husband is more than welcome to join us with your consent in one of our future sessions so that we can talk about that with him together. Because it sounds like with you feeling so isolated and not having people to hear you out the way you need, the extra support might be good for you, but I'm also hearing that there's some cultural concerns as well. So after our session today, I'm going to look into some further resources and also reach out to other specialists that I know and see if we can find maybe a support group that could be a good fit. Maybe we can find one that might be more diverse as well for you. So maybe you could find some people who you can relate to as well. There's some different routes we could take with this as well. We could do, maybe find a Hispanic support group just for general emotions. And if it's something that you don't like, that's totally fine. You don't have to feel committed to doing it if it's not working out for you, because whatever we do going forward, we want to find out what's going to work best for you. So I want to let you know that I'm committed to your progress.
Well, thank you for your help.
You're welcome. In addition, there are different relief programs for caregivers for adult children who are caregiving for parents with dementia. Have you heard about anything like that before, or what are your thoughts?
I haven't. I mean, I just heard like that the groups are there. What exactly they do, what resources they have, I don't know any of that. But honestly, Paige, at this point, I'm willing to try.
Yeah. Well, I'm very glad to hear that you're open-minded to those options. There are a ton around the area around here. So there's different organizations that we can reach out to. Some you may have to qualify for, some may be a little bit easier for you to receive the help with. If any vouchers are needed, I can help you get those as well. So there are some different types of relief programs that could help you with transportation with your mom, to like doctor's appointments so that you could have a little extra time to yourself if needed. There are also meal programs, so if it's a struggle getting those nutritious meals to your mom while you're also tackling your family at the same time, that's also a possibility. And then some of the programs will even allow a nurse to come into your home and help with bathing, things like that. How does that sound to you?
You just don't know how much this would help me. It's just been so hard, so hard, so hard. This will really help. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned, you're not alone in feeling the feelings that you are feeling right now. There's a lot of research on dementia. There's a lot of research about caregivers and adult children who are put in the same situations as you. So we're very fortunate to live in a time where these opportunities are growing and are, in place for us. So what I'm going to do over the time before our next session, I'm going to look into a lot of that. I'm going to make a lot of notes so I can make sure you're really informed about these programs and we can see what a good fit is for you, because it sounds like you really need that relief, and that sounds like it might really improve your situation.
I think that would be great. You just don't know how much of a relief it is to hear that it's resources that could help me with this process. So thank you.
You're very welcome. And also, that leads me into a question that I didn't ask earlier that I meant to. Do you mind if we circle back real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So while we're talking about different relief programs, I wanted to ask about how things are going at home. Do you guys have affordable housing? should we maybe connect you to a food program for your family to provide some financial relief, or are you guys pretty stable right now?
Well, all the help, we can appreciate all of the help. Um, we're Juan is working, but it's like he's bringing in enough to keep the lights on and keep a roof over our heads. So if we could get some help with like some groceries or something like that, that would be a great help to our family. Because sometimes we make sure the kids eat, but we may share something just because that's all we have.
Right. That is very understandable. There are some organizations in the area that can help provide like food pantries so that you guys are able to get food without payment. We can also look into a food stamp card, some EBT, so that will provide you and your family with some extra income where you don't have to worry about spending Juan's income on food. And then in addition, there are more resources. I know we haven't spoken about this aspect, but it's, a known fact that children grow like sprouts sometimes, and that can create some unexpected expenses. If, you need help with clothing or shoes, we have the Crisis Assistance Ministry close by. You do have to be referred to their program, but I can absolutely write you a referral. That will be definitely an easy one to get you into.
Okay, that would be awesome. Because it's like they go to bed one size and they wake up and it's like, why are these pants too small? I just bought them.
Oh, I know, yeah.
So they are growing like the weeds.
That is so true. And that's something that many parents struggle with. And, often we talk about the more important needs of survival, but, you still have to get shoes, clothes, even school supplies. So I'm going to stay committed to making sure that we can get some relief for you and your family.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any concerns about any of what we've spoken about?
I don't. Just coming into it, I didn't know what this was going to be like, but I'm grateful that I was open-minded to it because you seem to have a lot of resources that will be able to help us navigate this season that we're in. So I'm grateful. So thank you.
Right. Yeah, of course. You're very welcome for that. I know at the beginning you said you felt very nervous speaking with me because I'm a social worker. So are you feeling any better now? Do you feel more comfortable with me?
I feel much better.
Okay, good. Yeah, so something that makes
I do, because I didn't know what to expect.
Right, and a lot of people don't, definitely. A lot of people think about social services and social workers as like bad, something's wrong, the government has to come in and do something about it, and that's not what it's about. We're here to help you and to find the resources you need. We don't want to make your life harder, we just want to help.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you have any? Well, one, I want to let you know we just have a few minutes left on the clock, so we will have to start wrapping things up soon. Is there anything further that you'd like to tell me about your situation that I might have missed?
Do you have any? Because with mom right now with her arthritis, she's having a hard time, like getting up and down.
Mm.
Like, do you have any resources that could help with like a walker or something?
Yes, we can.
That'll be able to help her, and because most days she's pretty steady, but some days she's not, and I think just having the extra support may really benefit her.
Okay. Yeah, we have some options for that as well. We can get her a walker. In addition, as she gets older, and if things will likely progress with her diagnosis, we have other tools as well to help you. So if it ever gets to a point where she's beyond using the walker and you have to start helping her more, we can help you with that as things progress down the road. There's all sorts of different options to make things a lot easier on your body, easier on her body. So these medical needs that we're discussing, we can absolutely help you get some of that.
Okay.
In fact, sorry, go ahead.
I have one more question. So I've seen it, like the commercials for, it's kind of like I guess for lack of a better word, it's like an adult daycare.
Yes.
Are there any of those that are in our area?
There are 2 adult daycares to my knowledge. One has been around a little bit longer than others, so that is a great question. I'm so glad you brought that up. We can look into it. There, might be possibilities of, if they have availability or if they're kind of at max capacity right now. So I just want you to be aware of that, just in case we're not able to get your mother in there. But that doesn't mean that we can't get some access to adult daycare later on. So, really great, really great question.
Because I'm wondering if her being around other seniors, where she could just kind of do things that they enjoy doing, whether it's playing bingo or different things, that would help her. I mean, I know we can't stop the diagnosis, but it's like if we can help her try and keep some level of independence and some social skills, that would be great. Because before this, she was always on the go. So I think that's another reason why she's having such a hard time, because she can't go like she used to. So that may be an outlet for her.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a great insight you have there, and we can definitely work on that, finding that for her. We are nearing the end of our session, so I just want you to know that I will definitely have some more information about resources when we meet again. If you have any further questions, write them down so we can discuss them at our next session as well. Which I would like to know, when can I see you again? When are you available?
Mondays and Fridays work better for me.
Okay.
So we could do it like the timing. If we do it during the day, the children are at school. If it's after 3 o'clock, they'll be home. So it would probably be quieter if we did it while they were at school.
Got it.
So
that is not a problem. Some of these issues that you're having, I would be concerned to go too long without speaking to you. So if you're interested, I am available this upcoming Monday during your children's school hours, Monday the 26th. So we could get back together soon, and that way we can really get the ball moving on finding you some relief. Are you available for that appointment? Is that a good time for you?
Yes.
All right. So I will get you put down for that, Maria, and then I will see you on Monday the 26th, and I will have more information for you, and we'll keep working on this together, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Have a good rest of your day. See you next time.
Hello, bitch.
All right. We should be good for this now. So I think something that I could have done better was, I think I kind of asked some double questions where I would sort of ask one question and then I'd make it a second question to kind of make it more clear. I think that's something I could work on.
Okay. Well, no, I thought your line of questioning was great, because like what you're talking about, I think when you redid it, it kind of just made it clearer, because I know with clients who are of different backgrounds, we may have to rephrase it so that it makes sense to them, and it sounds a little different to us. So I think that's what you did. I don't think you asked it double.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Do you feel that I was thorough enough with my questions?
I do. I thought you asked great questions, and it gave me a chance to open up and just kind of let you in on and let you know like what's really going on, how am I feeling, just to be a little vulnerable with you. because I think a lot of times it may be it like if you had the way you asked them were great because like I said, it was like, oh, okay, she asked this, but I can tell her this, and this to help answer the question. Because like you asked how I was feeling, and it was like, oh, I'm isolated, I'm lonely, I'm depressed, I'm getting fat, all of the things. So the way you did it just kind of left it open. So like with your clients, that's gonna be awesome because they won't be able to just answer that one thing. It's like, oh, well, she's friendly enough and she asked a question. Maybe I should share.
Yeah, that was, I wanted to approach the questions in the warmest way that I could while still seeming professional at the same time. One thing.
You were very professional.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's I think that's the hardest part transitioning into this field is for me, I've always worked a very eccentric job, so kind of dialing back a little bit in some senses, like I'm a very fidgety person, and this really gave me the self-awareness that I have to, be in control of that. I think Dr. D had discussed what we should be doing with our hands, during these assessments, and that just completely went out of my brain until I'm talking about it right now. I don't know what the camera saw over here, but I was probably messing with my fidget ring a whole lot, and maybe next time I'll try to focus a bit more on keeping my hands on the desk or something like that.
Well, so from on this side, I couldn't see that you were fidgeting.
Okay, that's good.
Looking at it you didn't look like you were fidgeting. It looked to me like you were listening and you were taking notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I did take those notes.
It didn't seem like that to me.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, and speaking of notes too, because I had background information on this case scenario, I didn't take a whole lot of notes, but I feel like in future assessments, that's something I kind of need to pay attention to more, is like, hey, got this notebook here, let's make use of it, just in case. But I'm glad it was obvious when I was taking notes and that it didn't look like I was looking away too long or anything like that.
Yeah. It was really good.
It did feel a bit challenging at times trying to provide those validating statements because I was doing my best to make sure that they weren't repetitive, but maybe, I don't know, do you think that my statements of validation were repetitive?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I thought that the way you did it was great, and it also made me comfortable. It wasn't like I was anxious or just like, okay, I don't know if I can trust her with this, especially since we were talking about the family values and how other people don't understand the culture. Like, it wasn't, you didn't say anything or do anything that was like, okay, she don't understand, so I'm not talking to her anymore.
Right. Okay. I'm glad you touched on that because that was something I was a little bit concerned about as well, is my friend group and the people I surround myself, very, very diverse, and sometimes you kind of have to be aware of certain lines, so it was like, am I asking enough about the culture? Am I asking too much? Like, as a white person, I kind of have to be like conscious of that, make sure I'm coming across as somebody who's trying to understand, and I never want to come across as insensitive, so I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, I understand that because I think us as people, we know what we know about us, and the rest of it, we're learning as we go.
Right.
So, like, one of the things you did do when I was talking about, when you asked about the siblings, and I was like, well, they don't see it this way. You didn't say, you were like, well, you ain't want to tell them? You didn't say anything that would make me be like, okay, see, she don't get it either.
Right.
But it's one of those things, and it's funny because we dealt with it personally with my father-in-law. He had dementia, and when you sent it to me, I was like, oh, I can so get into this because we dealt with it, and different races do things differently. Different people respond differently to this type of things as well. So it's like, you know how sometimes you say, people will be like, well, if it was me, I would do such and such. Well, you don't really know what you're going to do until you're in a situation. So, but I really liked when you were talking about the resources, and you were talking about like the different things to offer Maria in regards to the child care. Because like I never said anything about needing the child care, but it's like you saw a need there. Like, okay, if I can get her some child care and we can get mom in adult daycare, that'll kind of give her a window to be able to have some me time and do some self-care. So that was big.
Yeah, I was trying to think about, the different ways, like, gosh, now that we're on camera, I'm forgetting all of the terms. But in classes, we've been talking about how when one person's ecosystem's messed up, that affects a whole bunch of their other systems. And yeah, that just kind of popped into my head as we were speaking about it. Going into this, I didn't expect to bring up clothing or anything like that, so that kind of just came to me as we were going.
But that's one of the things that was good though, because I would have said, okay, well, they're outgrowing their clothes, because I didn't think about that until you said that. And it's like, wait a minute, kids grow. They're 10 and 7. They're gonna grow. So if we can get a little help, that would be great. If we can get some groceries, that would be great. Like, I didn't think about the walker until I was thinking about her arthritis. Like, so it was like, okay. So hopefully that didn't throw you for too much of a loop.
No, not at all.
Throwing that in there like that.
I think something that really helped me working with you as a partner too is you mentioning maybe relating this a bit to our internship. So since mine is at the Central Carolina Area Agency on Aging, there's a lot of talk about how to help caregivers with dementia and a lot of different resources. So that was a good way for me to kind of remember the different systems I'll be working with at that internship as well. There's a few I wish I kind of could have explained a bit better, but that'll come more naturally with practice, I hope.
Well, the other thing is, I think this was great for us to do the simulation, because I think the second part to this assignment is the interventions and stuff.
Yeah.
So we got to put all of the things in place, and like with you bringing them up and the different things, you already have a starting point where it's like, oh, I don't even know what they need, because you ask great questions. So you like, oh, I know she needs clothing. I know they need childcare. I know we need to find something. So you have somewhere to start. So that was great.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And just want to say I appreciate you, taking this case scenario, even though it might have related to your life experience. I'm glad that you were willing to do it. So. And hi, it's just me here at the end to explain why my setup was a little bit different. I have old technology. I did the best I could with the technology that I have. I spent hours trying to figure out how to record on Zoom, and I think that there's something wrong with the status of my account, so I'm going to need to reach out to Wingit IT to figure out if there's a way to make it an option for me to record Zoom meetings in the future. So I hope that wasn't an issue. Really enjoyed this project. Tanisha was great to work with, and I'm looking forward to the simulations as we go forward. Thanks.